playing another Warhammer 40k Battle Report 6th edition, Space Marines versus Eldar. I am playing Eldar. Volander is playing Space Marines. Well, first you can see there's a big wall here, and that's the Space Marines are guarding the wall while the Eldar are attacking. We're playing a lot of things. We have 4 objectives. One there, one in there, one up there, and one back here. We also have this is the Relic. Those are just normal objectives, but they only count for 2 points, while at the end of the game they're still mysterious objectives, so we'll roll for that. This is the Relic, counts as 3 points, and we're playing Purge Alien at the same time, and so each kill point's 1 point. I still have to infiltrate those strangers, but the wall, if I blow up the wall, I also get a point. How the wall works is it's 2 structure points at armor value 13. And yeah.
So that's like having 6 whole points.
Yeah. Because each structure point is 3 whole points. So we'll just go through the armies now. We'll go through Space Marines first.
Okay, this is a 2,500 point game if we haven't mentioned already, so it was like double force organization. I only have 2 HQs. He's my chapter master.
That's your Warlord too, right?
Yeah, this is my Warlord. He actually has the ability to outflank.
Oh, yes,
it really wasn't that helpful at all. So he's my 1 HQ, my main guy. This is my other one with the chaplain. He is going to be with the 5 Terminators, 3+ invulnerable shield, Thunder Hammers, and they are in the Land Raider.
What does the Land Raider have?
It has a multi-melta, it has flamers on the side, and basically, and just this little gun up front. This is actually a converted Rhino, and I'm just making a Razorback in this one. It has 5 Space Marines. This is a twin-linked las cannon, and it does have a little shooter gun up front, just a normal one. I do have a drop pod with a locator beam. Inside I have 5 stern guard. 2 of them have multi-guns, and then, no, I think all of them have multi-guns, and then the sergeant has a multi-gun.
Yeah, but 2 of them have multi-guns, 3 have multi-meltas. I mean, combine meltas.
Combine meltas, that's what it is, yeah, including the sergeant.
Yeah.
So, that's what I have there. Fast attack, I have 9 guys. This is my my sergeant. He's got a storm shield, 3+ invulnerable, and then he has a power weapon. This is just a group combat squad of guys, 5 guys, normal guy, the flamer, and then sergeant. A group of 10 that I am going to combat squad, just in case I have to come back here, maybe, whatever. So that's 10 guys there in a normal tactical group. I mentioned these guys was a tactical group goes with that guy, and this group of 5 is going to be in the Razorback. So that's what I have. Up all along the wall. Do have a Tech Marine with a Thunderfire cannon. I have 5 Devastators. 1 is a sergeant. 1 is just a normal guy with bolter guns, and then there's 3 missile launchers. In the front, I have a group of 7 scouts. 1 of them has a missile launcher. They all have camo cloaks. Going back to the wall, this guy has boosted this from a 4+ cover save on the top to a 3+, and then obviously with my cover cloaks, it's going to give those guys a 2. But down on the bottom, these guys will just get a 4. What we've decided is, though, even though the Space Marines can't really see over that little window, that we're going to say that they could actually just kind of shoot through there, and they can get shot as well. And that is my... Oh, if you didn't notice already, I have my Rhino right there.
Does this have your chapter master in it?
Yeah, that's these guys inside.
Okay.
That's my force.
Alright, so I'll go through my Eldar.
Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention, these 5 Terminators are deep striking in.
Okay.
So, they're in reserve right now.
So my Eldar, I have double force organization chart, so 4 HQs have Eldrad, Doesn't look like Eldrad, but that's who I'm playing as Eldrad. An Avatar, a Farseer on a bike, and an Auto-Arc on a bike. Autarch on a bike. I have 6 jet bikes here, 2 with Shuriken Cannons and 1 Warlock with Destructor, 10 Wraith Guard, some are being proxied by Dark Reapers, 2 Wraith Lords with Bright Lance and Rocket Launchers, both of them, 2 Fire Prisms, 10 Guardians with Bright Lance, 10 Dire Avengers with Blade Storm, and the Exarch has dual Shuriken Catapults.
These are
and they're inside here. The Dire Avengers are. This is Twinling Star Cannons and a Shuriken Cannon. 8 Rangers who are going to infiltrate. Actually, they're Pathfinders. They're going to infiltrate. Probably just go somewhere. I have some Swooping Hawks right here. 7 of them. 1 Exarch Intercept. And the reason why I look like I'm like all over this table, he has Volander's very little, is that I'm hacking the wall, and we just decided this would be alright.
One thing that is going to be good, you're going first, I could not steal initiative, is that Alfred Uthay's power was to reposition groups, and it looks like you're right up there because you're not really in good position.
Yeah. And my Auto-Arc is my Warlord, and he counts as scoring. He can capture things, so that will be helpful at the end of the game. And oh yes, and my Farseer here has 2 powers from Divination. He has Misfortune and Forewarning, so that should be good. And now going in, and Eldrad has all the Eldar book powers. Alright, so now going into Eldar turn 1. End of Eldar turn 1. With psychic powers, I guided both the Wraith Lords and Fortune the Wraith Guard to Eldrad. Farseer here gave my bikes Forewarning, 4+ invulnerable save, and then tried to miss something. The number 3 on Divination on these guys, but he rolled a 6 and denied the Witch. Moved this up. Moved those Fire Prisms here, so their back is to the edge, so his drop pod can't destroy me. Swooping Hawks moved up there, assaulted and took out the Land Raider with their Haywire grenades. Blew up the Rhino with this guy's shots. With the Fire Prism, I blew up the Razorback. I shot an Assault in. Oh, and with the explosion of the Rhino, 3 of my bikes died, and I had to put basically 5 bikes died with the explosion of the Rhino, which was really bad for me. Assaulted in, brought it down to the Chapter Master with 1 wound, and the Sergeant of the squad. All I have is an Auto-Arc with 2 wounds, a Farseer with 1 wound, and a Warlock. Wave Serpent moved up, these guys stayed here. Took a shot at the wall, it didn't do anything. Rangers took a shot at the Thunderfire Cannon, didn't do anything either. These guys just moved and ran up the Avatar and the Wraith Guard. But now going into Space Marines turn 1. The Space Marines turn 1, and I went ahead and brought my drop pod in. He came in right here and shifted over about 4 inches. These guys jumped out into cover. They were able to shoot at one of the Fire Prisms. They exploded it, destroyed it, and one of the Space Marines died in the explosion because I did take it out. It exploded, and I missed one of my saves. Over here, these scouts shot at these guys here at the Wraith Guard. Caused like about 6 wounds, but no, he didn't miss anything. These guys here, the Devastator shot, hit once, took 1. Did you lose a glancing here? Yeah,
you save it? Lost the whole point there. This Thunderfire cannon shot 4 shots over there and was only able to kill 2 of them because he made like a bunch of cover saves, conceal saves. Over here, small consolation, the jump assault marines took out the swoopy hawks in assault, but really that's all I did this whole turn. Over here in assault, my chapter master died, and that's it. So it's the end of Space Marines turn 1, and we'll be back with Eldar. The wall is breached. My turn of Eldar. The main thing was the Avatar punched a hole right through the building, allowing Eldar to go through, walking through there. Finished off the remnants of those Space Marines over there. These guys moved over, took a shot, killed the Terminator. These guys killed the Space Marine, and he killed another of those flyers. He failed to get into the charge. Wraith Lord killed the drop pod. Guardians didn't do anything. And Avatar tore a chunk out of the wall. That's basically my turn. Going into Space Marines turn dose. In the Space Marines turn 2, the Terminators came in deep stroke. Wanted to come in front of here, so I would have had the choice of either shooting at the Wraith Lord or these guys, but they moved back here, so they basically shot at these guys here and were able to kill 2 of them. And basically they made their leadership, so they stood there. These guys moved up 6 inches, went ahead and shot at the last fire prism, and they were able to take it out. I still have 2 guys with normal melta guns and 1 guy with the combi melta. These guys moved up, hoping to take out the fire prism, but it was already dead. Both squads lost 1 man in the explosion. These Space Marines just moved up and then ran. These guys moved up, tried to get within assault, didn't make it. 1 guy died in Overwatch. Over here, those scouts shot at the Wave Serpent, did nothing. They took away, well, the Devastators took away 1 wound from this guy. There's 2 left. And then these guys actually, 1 guy died from the Thunderfire cannon. And that's about it. Tried to shoot at the Avatar with those Space Marines right there, but nothing happened. So that's the end of Space Marines turn 2. End of my Eldar turn. Moved these bikes up here, cast guidance or something, giving them a 4+ vulnerable save. Put misfortune on these guys. Eldrad guided fortune the Wraith Guard and doom those jump pack marines. Moved my vehicle up here. Wraith Lord moved back there. Wraith Lord moved up. Guardians moved down to shoot at the Terminators. Didn't shot it, didn't do anything. Then assaulted in, didn't do anything. They're now falling back. Here, the bikes assaulted and shot at the Devastators, made them run back right on the edge. Only the sergeants left. The Wraith Guard killed all the Terminators and the Chaplain. This guy did nothing. He just moved up there. The Avatar moved and ran closer to these Space Marines. And the Wraith Guard over here assaulted the Stern Guard and did nothing while he lost a wound to the Melta Bomb. And so now going into Space Marines turn. In the Space Marines 3, these Space Marines still holding that objective. They moved up a bit, took shots at these bikers, did a couple wounds, but nothing happened to him. This guy was able to make his leadership. He shot at those guys, did nothing. These guys moved back. This guy with the crack missile did stay in place, so he shot and took one wound away from the avatar. These guys tried to shoot, did nothing. Finally, first ever time my tech marine goes into assault and actually does something. He went ahead and assaulted this wave serpent and took away the last hull point. I think previously this guy here took away a hull point, so it was down to one hull point. In assault, he took out the last one, made it a wreck. Those Dire Avengers spilled out. Those guys over there, these guys still contesting this little place. They just tried to take some cover over there. Up over here, those Space Marines there, the Terminators went ahead and shot the last 3 Guardians, killed them. So they're not doing anything to that objective. Up in here, you can't really see it, but this guy inside here, my sergeant, he jumped into there. He failed his difficult terrain test, but he made a save, and then he assaulted those scouts. He did kill 2 of them, and he was able to run down the rest. Underneath here, there's a Space Marine there who's a sergeant, and he fought with Melt-A-Bomb and took out the last wound on the Wraith Lord. Wraith Lord did kill 1 guy. That is the end of my turn, and we'll come back with turn 4 for the Eldar.
End of my Eldar, turn 4. Jet bikes moved over, gave these guys a 4+ invulnerable save. Doomed and misfortuned the Thunderfire Tech Marine guy. Blade Storm killed him. These guys moved over, assaulted, killed them. Avatar charged in, was challenged by the sergeant. I killed the sergeant. Wraith Lord just moved up and ran. These guys moved back and picked up the Relic. And now going to the Space Marines turn 4.
End of turn 4, Terminators moved up 6. They went ahead and shot, made no wounds against these guys. This guy, the sergeant, he went ahead and shot at the Wraith Lord, did nothing. The Space Marine assault sergeant jumped out 12 inches. He assaulted this guy, took a wound away with the Melt-A-Bomb. These guys tried to get into assault, did nothing. They didn't make the range. For here, these guys, scouts, and the sergeant shot at these Dire Avengers and killed 1 guy. And down in assault, the Avatar killed 3 Space Marines, and with the crack grenades, I took away 2 wounds. So he's got 1 wound and a bunch of Space Marines still there. And that is the end of turn 4, going into Eldar turn 5.
End of my turn 4. Auto-Arc moved up, assaulted and helped the Avatar, brought it down to 1 guy left. He did nothing in the assault. This guy moved up. Misfortune, the guy who was assaulting Wraith Lord, killed him. Oh yeah, all these guys split up from the squad, both the HQ, so just that Warlock here capturing it. These guys assaulted in, killed 3 guys, one Dire Avenger died. These guys just moved back. Good fortune guided that guy and doomed these guys. That's why I made it easier to hurt those guys. And now going into Space Marines turn 4. Into turn 5 for the Space Marines. These guys moved up 6, got into within range of charging here, needed a 7, rolled a 4. So these Space Marine Terminators did absolutely nothing. So he kept the Relic. I was hoping to kind of get in there and do something. Over here, these Space Marines moved up and assaulted for the first time in recorded history. I actually made my charge. I rolled a 7. They got in.
but they did nothing with their melted bombs and crack bombs. I actually died. One guy died, and I chose to run back, get away from his combat, and I went back here. He did not catch me. Over here, in the biggest underdog scenario, Avatar ripped apart the last Space Marine and just laughed and drank his blood and kicked him to the curb. Over here, this guy took a shot at this Warlock, made a wound, but he made a save, so he still captured that point. Over here, these scouts were standing up, or they're still in combat with the Dire Avengers. They lost 2 scouts, and the Dire Avengers lost 2, so they actually stood in combat. And we rolled for the end of the game, and the end of the game rolled, so I was hoping to hold on to that spot, but at this point, no one has any capture points except for that Warlock, so that's the Warlock scores for the Eldar. We're going to count all this up, but basically,
there's the Relic, and there's the Relic, there's the capture points, and each kill point is a point too.
So we'll count it up. I'm pretty sure I know the outcome, but we'll see what happens here.
So it's an Eldar victory for 12 victory kill points, and 7 kill points for me. But he did get line breaker, so that's 8. While I captured this and that, so that put me a lot higher. The Eldar won, but my man in the match for the Eldar was the Autoarch, who came in, destroyed some of these guys, was actually the one who killed the Chapter Master, moved up here, killed these guys, killed those Space Marines over there, and then helped the Avatar survive, not die.
That's because he has a power weapon, right?
Yeah, he had
initiative 6, so he's going in front of everyone.
Yeah. Farser, he did alright. But my least favorite is those Guardian jet bikes. 5 of them died in an explosion by the Rhino.
That was my glorious moment. It's the only good thing that happened.
My favorite moment was when the Avatar broke down the walls, broke through the wall, as we're calling it. Just hit it and bashed through it and walked through. So who was your man of the match?
Well, these are the Stern Guard veterans. He's the sergeant. Basically, I had 5 of them. There was 3 combat meltas and then the 2 normal meltas. But during the course, there's 5 of them. Like I said, they came down in the drop pod. They took out. The first thing they took out was a fire prism, and then there was another fire prism over here. And then, like maybe 2 rounds later, I took out that fire prism. And then somehow, when the Wraith Guard, there's one Wraith Lord that assaulted. I had 1 wound taken away from my missile launchers. He had 2 wounds, he assaulted, and I had like 4 guys still alive somehow, and I was able to withstand all of the assaults and kill him with melt bombs.
Yeah, at the end, the death toll from the Stern Guard were these 2 vehicles and this Wraith Lord.
But the other guy that I did like was these Assault Marines that were jumping around. One of my favorite, I guess my favorite part, just because nothing else was happening good, was that I was able to get into assault one of the few times. I jumped in, and there was like 8 Rangers here, and my 1 guy, he won combat, and so he just ran them down, and that was a good point. I mean, happy about that, but not a lot to be happy about on the whole, because these Space Marines just did terrible. I mean, there's 2 times that these guys didn't get into assault. That was annoying. Maybe it was just once, but I was trying to come into here to maybe kill some guys, make them run, and then I would have grabbed the Relic, or at least kept them from grabbing the Relic. And yeah, there's a couple times also where I just couldn't make saves to save myself. And it's just, oh man, it was depressing. But it's a fun game, but man, look at the dead pile.
Yeah, look at mine. Alright, so this is the end of the battle report. There'll be many more to come.